This is the Honda Civic, and in this review we're going to tell you everything you need to know about this family car. And if you're interested in buying one, head to whatcar.com and see how much money we can save you. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you stay up to date with all of our latest video reviews. Now, pretty much every new Civic brings with it a comprehensive design overhaul, and there's no exception with this 10th generation model. It makes it stand out in a class that's very competitive. Its rivals include the Volkswagen Golf, Ford Focus and Vauxhall Astra. But arguably there aren't many cars in this class with a particularly inspiring design. So does the Civic have the upper hand here? Well, vote in our poll. What do you think is the best looking family car? Is it the Honda Civic, or the Ford Focus, Toyota Corolla or Vauxhall Astra? The Civic has a decent interior. It might not feel quite as plush as a Volkswagen Golf, and that's because there aren't as many soft touch materials in here, but it does feel well screwed together, so you definitely won't feel shortchanged. The driving position is fairly low, but the gear lever is within easy reach, as are the aircon controls. The seats are comfortable and there's quite a lot of side and thigh support, and great news, there's adjustable lumbar support, electrically adjustable lumbar support on FR trim and above as standard. The only tricky thing is altering the back support, because you have to sort of use your weight to adjust it. It's a little bit fiddly, but you get there in the end. And there's plenty of movement backwards and forwards, so whether you're tall or short, you should be able to find a good place to sit. Visibility is slightly hampered by those coupe-like styling. For example, over the shoulder is quite hampered. However, you do get a reversing camera as standard on FR and above, and all trim levels come with front and rear parking sensors, something that a lot of rivals would charge you for. And even though you do sit quite low, seeing out at junctions and roundabouts isn't an issue. This infotainment system is simply one of the worst systems of any family hatchback. The 7-inch touchscreen has a disappointingly low resolution and is inconveniently angled upwards, so it tends to reflect the sun very easily. Worse still, the menus are complicated, the system is often sluggish to respond, and even tweaking the volume is frustratingly fiddly. Well, at least Apple CarPlay and Android Auto saved the day somewhat with this system, and that comes as standard on SR trim and above. Now, from the outside, the Civic looks fairly compact, but there's actually plenty of head and leg room, even if you are taller than me, which is not difficult because I'm 5'4½". Six-footers will definitely find that there is enough space in this car. In terms of storage, there is a door bin which can just about hold this bottle, and there's some more storage here, there's a cup holder here, and if you slide this and tilt that back, we've got a healthy snack and a decent sized glove box. Moving to the back is a bit of a mixed bag. It's not legroom that's the issue, because that is plentiful. It's this sloping roof line that eats into headspace, especially if you're 6 foot tall. And with these windows pinching in, it just feels a little bit claustrophobic back here. And the previous generation had really nifty seats that could fold up and then you could use it for extra storage. But there's no such practicality tricks with this car. Headroom isn't brilliant then, but boot space is impressive. It's bigger than a Volkswagen Golf, although smaller than Skoda's Octavia. It's also low to the ground and easy to access. Bear in mind, if you go for Sport or Sport Plus, those models come with a different exhaust, and that eats into boot space by about 10%. But how expensive is the Civic, and what's it like to run one? These are the key things you need to know about buying and owning a Honda Civic. The Civic is priced in line with the Volkswagen Golf, which means it's cheaper to buy than an Audi A3 and more expensive than both the Skoda Scala and Vauxhall Astra. If you want to buy on a PCP finance deal, then the good news is Honda is quite competitive on its PCP finance deals. Out of the engines, it's the 1 litre turbocharged that's the most fuel efficient and emits the least CO2. So that's the one that we recommend for company car drivers and for private buyers as well. Although it is worth noting that engines in rivals that are similar are more fuel efficient. SR trim is our pick of the lineup. It gets a 7-inch touchscreen, leather-bound steering wheel and gear knob, adjustable lumbar support and a reversing parking camera. This car comes with a 3-year 90,000 mile warranty, which is similar to its rivals but with a higher mileage limit because most of its rivals come with a 3-year 60,000 mile warranty. There's an impressive amount of safety kit fitted as standard. Automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, lane keeping assistance, traffic sign recognition and intelligent speed assist. The Civic may have a limited range of engines, but there's not a bad one among them. All you really need is the 1 litre turbocharged, which has 124 brake horsepower. There's plenty of pull at low revs, and it does the 0 to 60 dash in 10.7 seconds. The equivalent engine in the Volkswagen Golf and Audi A3 does perform a little bit better, and that's because the Civic is a heavier car. Naturally, with 180 brake horsepower, this 1.5 litre petrol does have more low-down pulling power. But when driven on the road, there isn't a huge amount of difference actually. The 1.6 diesel only has 118 brake horsepower, so it isn't going to feel particularly fast, although it does have good fuel economy, so it's a good choice amongst company car drivers. Meanwhile, the 6-speed manual gearbox is light and has a positive action, and the brake pedal feels a little bit spongy. Now, the Civic doesn't ride as smoothly as a Golf, but is pretty comfortable by class standards. And all trims apart from EX, Sport Plus and Prestige come with passive dampers, which offer a largely settled ride and don't get too caught up with potholes. Meanwhile, the posher trim levels ride on adaptive dampers, meaning you can stiffen and soften the suspension at the touch of a button. Bumps are dealt with suitably well in the softer setting, but switch to the firmer mode and you can feel too many of the road's imperfections as they pass beneath the car. Broadly speaking, the Civic handles reasonably well for a family car, but some of its rivals do handle better. Tackle a corner with any vigour, however, and you'll wish the steering weighted up more consistently to help you gauge how well the front tyres are gripping. That's the main reason the Civic isn't as fun to drive as the Ford Focus, for example. It's also a bit noisier than a Golf or Audi A3. That 1 litre engine is a bit raucous when you rev it hard, and although the 1.5 litre is a bit more refined and restrained, it will cost you more to buy and own. And then when you get up to motorway speeds, wind and road noise is not particularly intrusive. However, an Audi A3 or a Volkswagen Golf is definitely a much more peaceful cruiser. So the Civic can't match the best cars in its class for performance, handling or refinement, and it's a shame that infotainment system is so poor, but it's got a big boot, distinctive looks, and it's good to drive. So if you're thinking about buying one, head to whatcar.com and go to our new car buying section and see how much money we can save you, or any of its rivals. Again, we can save you plenty of money. And make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you will get a notification with every new video that we upload.